Crazy, bro. Gucci man, don't! You know, wait! Bro, take nice, bro. That's what identified them.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
People are still reacting to the controversy involving Gucci Mane getting robbed and kidnapped by Pooh Shiesty, his father, and several others. That's right, y'all. According to reports, Pooh Shiesty apparently asked Gucci Mane to release him from 1017, and of course, Gucci Mane refused. Okay, one thing led to another. Next thing you know, Pooh Shiesty pulled out an AK-47 and forced Gucci Mane to sign paperwork releasing him from 1017. Okay, apparently all of this was done on camera. All right, now again, like I said, how did we get to the situation where Gucci Mane is now being robbed and, you know, kidnapped by his own artists? I mean, like I said, this is a very crazy situation in 2026. Now, as you can see here on the screen, there were some images released from this situation involving Pooh Shiesty and several others. Now, this is an image of one of the individuals who flew out with Gucci Mane. Apparently, he was choked unconscious. You know, like I said, there's also images of individuals who were involved in this whole situation. As you can see, they're wearing jewelry, okay? Apparently, after they got the signature from Gucci Mane, right? Apparently, the individuals who were with Gucci were robbed, right? Including Gucci as well. It was reported, right, that his earrings was taken, a ring, his wedding ring was taken. So again, you know what I mean? Very disrespectful. You know, this whole situation, like I said, how did it get to this point where Gucci Mane is, you know, asked to come out to Dallas to talk this contract situation? Now, again, it was rumored that, you know, Gotti had some money for Shiesty. Okay, if he could find a way out of his situation with Gucci, you know, it's possible he could get 10 M's, you know what I mean, from Gotti. Now, again, this is all rumored speculation on social media. However, there are a lot of people who are feeling like, you know, somehow Pooh Shiesty was justified in this situation. Now, again, this is crazy, right? How does someone like Pooh Shiesty think that this situation was the best option, right? Because now, not only do you ruin your career, but now you have no freedom. And, you know, let's be honest, the man just came home, but there are individuals who feel like Pooh Shiesty was valid in doing what he did to Gucci Mane. Now, that part, I think, you know, we really have to sit back and ask ourselves, was this the best option for Pooh Shiesty? Now, me personally, like I said, this whole situation is unfortunate, but now the conversation is, will Gucci Mane take the stand? You know, somehow his testimony, right? This is what people are discussing, that, you know, that possibly, you know, Gucci may have to take the stand against Pooh Shiesty. But y'all have to understand, they already have probable cause in this whole situation. It's not about Gucci or whether he's taking the stand or not. You know, there are several individuals who were involved in this whole situation, and they did their homework. This is why they sat back and did a whole investigation versus just, you know, showing up the day of and arresting everyone involved. No, they really made sure to do their homework, and considering that Pooh Shiesty, you know, he really isn't fully home yet, right? He's on house arrest. It's unfortunate, but they did their homework, okay? Law enforcement, they used surveillance video, rental car receipts. I mean, they did everything to build the case against everyone involved in this situation. And we understand Gucci has, you know, a certain credibility when it comes to the rap game. But again, how did it get to this point where Gucci Mane is, you know, being held hostage and forced to have to sign paperwork releasing Pooh Shiesty, man? Like I said, very unfortunate. But again, here's some images showing you the recording studio in Dallas where all of this took place. But, you know, this conversation about Gucci Mane being a snitch, will he take the stand against Pooh Shiesty and others involved? Like I said, it's very unfortunate, but just looking at the situation, it just shows desperation, all right? A lot has changed since 2021, right? When the new 1017 came around, and to see Pooh Shiesty in the situation, you know, he has to have some level of accountability because, again, him along with several others came up with this horrible plan, All right. Now, the problem is the man was on house arrest. And because of that, that's what makes the situation even more crazy. Because, listen, if convicted, he's done. Okay? Whole career, throw it away. And all for what? To get yourself released from 1017? Now, to my knowledge, Gucci was always known to release artists. In this situation, a lot has changed, right? Since 2021, Gucci has invested in a lot of artists, but this situation has people coming up with the craziest theories, as if Gucci should have never, reported this whole situation and somehow fought off, Pooh Shiesty, up in the AK on him. I mean, come on, y'all. This is ridiculous, okay? Like I said, back in 2021, Gucci Mane was celebrating his new label with his new artists. Think about it. Put yourself in his shoes, okay? You put all of this money in this new talent, you know what I mean, in 2021. And then COVID happened. You know what I mean? A lot has changed within the industry, whether it's the music business, whether it's Hollywood. We really haven't recovered since COVID, right? But let's be clear. Gucci Mane is responsible for a lot of artists. And if he had a reputation for, holding people up, via paperwork, we would have heard it by now. So how did it get to this point where Gucci Mane has to now, make an announcement releasing all of his artists except Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano, who right now is still arrested as well. He's supposed to be coming home later this year. But understand, a lot has changed since 2021. And, the music industry is doing bad. As we all know, the streaming platforms are making all of the money. And for Gucci Mane to be in that position to invest all of his money into these artists and then to up and say, look, I'm releasing everyone except Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. Listen, understand, he has to find a way to make his investment. You know what I mean? After investing all of this money. And at that time, Pooh Shiesty, the hottest artist out in 2021. And then out of nowhere, Pooh Shiesty gets himself jammed up in a situation. Where's the accountability? Everyone's talking about, Gucci Mane and his reputation, but think about it. You done invested millions into this new label, right? To these artists. Pooh Shiesty, one of the hottest. He now has to sit down for 63 months after being involved in another armed robbery and kidnapping. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, you get so many opportunities in this lifetime, and you can't ruin them. And here you are. Someone's giving you a shot, investing in your career. All right. Now, this picture right here is just showing y'all, this is going viral, of Pooh Shiesty wearing an ankle monitor at the age of 11. So he's been back and forth since a kid. And here you have Gucci Mane investing all of his money, giving you the opportunity that, let's be clear, some of them white folks, in the offices, in the music business, they're not going to give you that shot. Gucci Mane gave you the opportunity. And then you made the decision to go out here, do some dumb shit, and get arrested. And now Gucci Mane is forced to have to call an audible. In the meantime, more than likely spending more money to keep your name alive. Now, I will say there's a moment right now where people have to really sit back and reflect, when Gucci and Jeezy did their verses, right? There was a certain moment where Gucci brought up Pookie Loc, right? And of course, in the interview with The Breakfast Club, Gucci Mane said he regrets bringing that whole situation up about smoking on Pookie Loc. And I think, that's one of the things that you have to understand, that, when you get older, you have to lead by example. And that was an opportunity to show growth on behalf of Gucci Mane. Now, shout out to Jeezy for not losing it, right? And understanding the assignment. We were able to get so icy, but as you can see, that certain energy that Gucci projected, I mean, listen, this is why a lot of the younger artists, they was bigging him up for that. When, to be real, he should have never even went into that situation. You know what I mean? Someone kidnapped him, and that's completely different from what we, seeing right now with Pooh Shiesty and the others involved. But it's just unfortunate, man. How do we get to a point where Gucci Mane invests in all of this talent, and it gets to a point where, the same talent is now forced to have to, hold you at hostage, gunpoint, forcing you to sign paperwork to release him? I mean, come on. It could have been another way to go about this. You can't tell me that people believe that Pooh Shiesty and his plan was his best option, because to me, this was career suicide. And anyone bigging him up on it is crazy. Because again, Gucci has a right to try to make some return on his investment, and anything would have been better than this. I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure Pooh could have knocked out some projects to honor the rest of that contract and be done with it. Or maybe take the money that was alleged off it, this $10 million from Gotti, and maybe break it down with Gucci and buy your way out the contract. There's many ways to go about this outside of robbing the man and betraying the only one who gave you a shot. But y'all let me know. What are your thoughts on everyone calling out Gucci Mane in the situation and defending Pooh Shiesty? Do you think Pooh was wrong in the situation like I do, or do you agree with others when they say he was valid out of desperation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all. Peace.